it didn't turn out to be a blown call. So I can say, well, maybe it would have been hard to blow it. But then again, when you're going through it, you just don't know what's liable to take place. And I was lucky at the end of the Soviet game to come up with what seems to be the right phrase right now. At least it's something that people seem to have enjoyed and continue to enjoy when they watch the videotape of it. But I was also very lucky, Roy, in the sense that the puck came out towards center ice, so that the last 5 seconds afforded me the opportunity to say something along the lines of, do you believe in miracles? Something that I wouldn't have been afforded the opportunity to say were, let's say, a shot on goal in the last few seconds of the game. So I was very lucky. It was a very fortuitous circumstance.
Suddenly I found myself in a hospital, and I couldn't move my right foot, leg. I couldn't move my right hand. I couldn't talk. And then the realization that maybe my career was over set in. Then the funny thing, you know, all my life I've been criticized on the air for recognizing absolute strangers, to wish them a happy anniversary or a happy birthday, or wish him well, hope he recovers and all that, for absolute strangers. And people always have criticized me. For the first time, I found out how right I was, because now I'm getting it from the other side. And the therapeutic value of getting hope and prayers, mass cards, when you're down low. The people, I've always been a people guy. And I think it really paid off this time, because being a people guy, I heard from people, and the people helped me recover.
Talent is not the same thing as craft. There are many fine craftsmen. There are not that many people with exceptional talent. Baseball, the best game ever devised, proof of the existence of God, because no human being could ever devise anything this perfect.
Baseball is the president tossing out the first ball of the season, and a scrubby schoolboy playing catch with his dad on the Mississippi farm. A tall, thin old man waving a scorecard from the corner of his dugout. That's baseball. And so is a big fat guy with a bulbous nose running home one of his 714 home runs. There's a man in Mobile who remembers that Honus Wagner hit a triple in Pittsburgh 46 years ago. That's baseball. And so is a scout reporting that a 16-year-old Sandlot pitcher in Cheyenne is a coming Walter Johnson. Baseball is a spirited race of man against man, reflex against reflex, a game of inches. Every skill is measured, every heroic, every failing is seen and cheered or booed, and then becomes a statistic. In baseball, democracy shines its clearest. The only race that matters, the race for the bag. The creed is the rule book, and color, merely something to distinguish one team's uniform from another. Baseball is a rookie, his experience no bigger than the lump in his throat as he begins fulfillment of his dream. It's a veteran, too, a tired old man of 35, hoping that those aching muscles can pull him through another sweltering August and September. Nicknames of baseball, names like Zeke and Pie and Kai Kai and Home Run and Cracker and Dizzy and Dazzy. Baseball is the clear, cool eyes of Rogers Hornsby, the flashing spikes of a Ty Cobb, and an overage pixie named Rabbit Moranville. Baseball, just a game, as simple as a ball and bat, and yet as complex as the American spirit it symbolizes. It's a sport of business and sometimes almost even religion. While the fairy tale of Willie Mays dashing off to play stickball in the streets with his teenage pals. That's baseball. And so is the husky voice of a doomed Lou Gehrig saying, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of this earth. Baseball is cigar smoke, hot roasted peanuts, the sporting news, ladies' day, down in front, seventh inning stretch, take me out to the ball game, and the Star-Spangled Banner. Baseball is a man named Campanella telling the nation's business leaders, you have to be a man to be a big leaguer, but you have to have a lot of little boy in you, too. This is a game for America, this baseball, a game for boys and for men.
What beauty do you see in it? I have no objection.
Is there no romance to the game in your mind?
Well, what is the romance in your mind?
The fact that two teams on a given night...
Is it lodged in a Pittsburgh courthouse? Is it lodged in A player coming out of that courthouse, where under grant of immunity he testified that he snorted cocaine, even during the action, but he comes back to New York and in Shea Stadium before 52,000 plus people, they stand and give him an ovation, and 3 miles away across the river, 55,000 plus people sit and boo the Canadian national anthem.
But that is not the quality of the game of baseball, though, Howard.
But that's what's happening in America and in baseball today, and things are out of whack when that's done. And it's up to somebody in the United States to talk about things like that and to do things and to stop romantically ignoring everything that's wrong. Because until people like you, who have a forum wherever it is, get on the bandwagon and expose the wrongdoing, that's the only way you can improve sports and then concentrate on what you deem to be, which you have every right to deem to be, esoterically beautiful.
I think the longer you're in the business and the more you do, you're going to get plaudits and you're going to get criticism. The only time I never remember the compliments, and I think that's probably human nature. I mean, someone says, boy, you did a great game, and you say, well, that's, thanks. Then you go on. Somebody said, boy, he just called you that'll stay, oh my gosh, you know. But what you have to do is you have to get back to the bottom line. I prepared the best I could. I was as honest as I could. I did not have anything that I was going to force upon the scene. And I did not want to get in the way of the event. And then if you can get through all of that, then you might say, okay, now, maybe I was too flowery, too pedantic. Maybe I'll have to watch that next time.
Through the years, I think I'm more confident now. In other words, I don't have to worry about my job. If I say something that someone disagrees about, CBS hierarchy, they may come down and tell me, but they're not going to run you out the door.
Little 30s, and it did make an impression on me. No written word, no spoken plea can teach our youth what they should be, nor all the books on all the shelves. It's what the teachers are themselves.
It's never bothered me over misdemeanors. You don't bother me over $2 for a haircut, or you never take a towel out of a motel. If you're going to take something out of a motel, you take a TV set. You do not do anything that's nickels and dimes, all right? So, no, this is a message I'm trying to get over what I do with my ball players. But the thing I want to say is this, what I think puts the whole package together. In my 3rd year at Marquette University, I had a ball player, got in trouble. And I always had my telephone number at the police station. They call me, I go down, all right? And first of all, when your children or your friends get in problems, never ask them why. You're an idiot if you do. First thing you do is solve the problem. Then a week later, you punch them in the nose. But you first solve the problem. So I go down there and I solve the problem. And we're walking out of this police station, happened to be in the relatively in the core police station. We're walking out of the police station, and the kid says to me, he says, give me a lift back to the dormitory, coach. I said, call one of your friends, big shot. He said, I don't have a dime. He didn't have a dime.
Wow.
You know, a lot of times now, it's not an exciting story, but it's a story to think about. It shows you what a coach is. You're developing people as long as you take care of your part of the bargain. Your part of the bargain was to get them degrees, to improve their station in life, and to be close with them. And that was it, without a phony love affair, without a phony patting them on the back and so on, being honest with them. And and that's why there's not a ball player, a ref, or a coach that I cannot look in the eye after 25 years of coaching. And the greatest compliment I ever got in my life, Roy, was when after I retired, my mother called me and said, Al, I'm so pleased you left clean. It's nice.
You're not allowed to be funny and also serious. You know, and you know that too. You do more comedy. If you do more comedy you do, the more people are going to say, well, he doesn't take it. So the fact of the matter is I am serious, but I don't take what I do seriously. If there are not things more important in this world than a college basketball game, we're all in trouble. So I just try and put it in perspective for the kids who play for me. I want them to understand that someday the cheering stops. You don't get introduced every day. You're working, you know, at IBM. They say, now here he comes. Like, you know, at left desk, give him a hand. And I want the kids to understand.
Left desk.
Yeah, eventually the cheering's going to stop, and you've got to be prepared for that.